Hello, everyone. This is Sidra, and today we are going to go over the concepts of blockchain, what it is, and how it was started, and where we are now in the blockchain revolution. I call it a trap because it's something that fetches your attention, and once you start to get hold of things, you learn so many things, and you really don't want to leave. And it's a rabbit hole. And for example, you learn about the economy, you learn about how money works and how our banking system works. And once you understand it, you don't want to leave. I have divided the talk into three parts. One is the history part of blockchain, why, what, who started the blockchain movement, and then we have the blockchain core concepts, and then Web3 for developers, the how you can get started as a developer in blockchain. And before we dive any further, little bit about me. I'm Sidra, and I'm a developer by choice, and I have been in the blockchain ecosystem for 4 years now. Anything related to people and tech really excites me. That's why I started my channel called Geek Strengths, where I share my learning and experience to the world around. And you guys should check it out. Like any good class lesson, we have history, like why there was a need, why it was started. So let's start with what who was the creator or creator of the blockchain. Okay, so you I think most of you guys have heard about the Bitcoin. It is the new buzzword that everyone is talking about recently. And this so Bitcoin was released, kind of the white paper was released in 2008, when after, and it's not a coincidence that it came out after the 2007 and 2008 world crisis. The crisis left many people bankrupt and penniless. People were left with no money in their account, and they did not even have home. And this was the one of the major causes was the mortgage industry and the banks. Also, there were derivative involved, and basically bank gave loan to people that those people were not able to pay them back in any way in near future. And I think you guys should check it out, the Netflix movie The Big Short. It's very eye opening to understand, okay, what actually happened in the financial crisis. And also you can watch the documentary Money Explained on the Netflix. It is also really good. And I think it's really good to understand the inflation, since it hits us all. So let's understand how blockchain and banks are related and why banks are against it. And because blockchain and banks go side in side. So do you know how banks work? Basically, let's say on the high level that we know that, okay, they take our money, keep it safe, we can withdraw whenever we want. We can No, that's not the case. How it actually works is it do take the money, it keeps them safe, but it takes your money and invest in some place and earn more money through it. And even you are not allowed to take out your money whenever you want. You cannot go to the bank in the middle of the night and cash out a check. You can go to the ATM and maybe the server is down and you won't be able to get any money out of it. So what if this problem was resolved? So blockchain has resolved it, because through blockchain you can withdraw money, any amount of money, whenever you want, in any country around the world. And basically, what banks lack is for their in case of when you are sending money from Pakistan to Canada, it's it takes a lot of time and also charge a lot of fee. For example, if I'm getting $100, they are going to cut $5 out of it and give me $95. because of the intermediaries involved in the process, and it's not really fair. Anyhow, the blockchain and the cryptocurrencies resolve this problem. And basically, even in the case of Ukraine, the banks are gone, people have no money left, and they are actually accepting donations in Bitcoin. And they have raised millions because of the blockchain technology. Okay, let's understand money and how traditional versus crypto works. So, our traditional money works on the IOU principle. We in the picture in the slides we have banknote of United States of America. We have Pakistani rupee. Then we have Saudi Riyal and the lira of Turkey. So we see that every note has different value. You can buy different amount of things, but who ensures that? The state ensures that. But in the case of cryptocurrency, the state does not insure it, but rather the system, the blockchain is insuring it, because it's basically saving the entries of all the entries. For example, the transaction that has been occurred, and basically crypto and traditional currencies are work in very similar way. They both have value, and depends, every crypto has different value, like every for example note on this picture has different value. But crypto works on the supply and demand principle. The value comes from supply and demand. So every crypto has a market cap, that is the total supply, and the current currency in the circulation. This gives the value to the crypto. And then we have, let's move to the core. That this is where it is going to be more interesting, because now we are going to the core of the blockchain, like what makes it interesting and the technology behind what is called making the blockchain. So three being the dependence of the blockchain is decentralized peer-to-peer architecture, and then we have cryptography and the consensus algorithm. And then we have three structures: blocks, miners, nodes. Okay, let's start with, we are going to go one by one to all those concepts, but let's understand decentralization. So by decentralization mean we don't have a centralized party like in other apps like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. And then in case of decentralization, um, we don't have the centralized party, but people are people have the power, the nodes have the power. One of the most common example is torrent, and I think all of you might have used it once in a lifetime to get a movie because you did not have the money. And the thing government were not able to ban it is because of its decentralized nature. There was not one point of failure that government was not able to ask a company to shut it down. Like government can ask a Facebook to shut down a particular account. Like in case of Twitter, the Trump account was shut down because of his comments and racist remarks. So this cannot be happened in decentralized ecosystem. Anyhow, let's talk about blocks. So by word it's clear that, okay, blocks are the building block. For example, blocks, chains. So there are millions of blocks that combine together to make a block, and block is the basic structure where data is stored, for example transactions, values, all of it. And then we have miners who make those blocks. So miners are the one who extract cores and of course of iron, gold, and they earn money. But it's similar in crypto, but kind of they are not using hammer to earn the ores, but rather their laptop or computer to earn the crypto crypto of the blockchain that you're using. For example, through consensus algorithm, miners are making money. Basically, what happens is block that is to be created of blockchain. Um, Miners compete with each other to create the new block, and whoever finds the knowns wins. And basically they are using their laptop computational power, the GPU and CPU, to make it possible. And then we have proof of stake, where you do not use the computation of your computer, but rather the crypto you own, you stake it, and you earn a reward. And there are multiple consensus algorithm available in the world, but we are talking about this because these are the most famous one. The Ethereum runs on proof of work algorithm, and they are switching to proof of stake. And Bitcoin is still working on proof of work, and I don't think so there's any rumor or say that it will be switching to another consensus algorithm. And the difference between uTorrent and the blockchain is the money value and the consensus algorithm. This is the only difference. Okay, nodes. Now we know that through consensus algorithm, the blocks are created in the blockchain. So nodes are the computer that are maintaining that data, the transactions on the blockchain, and making it all happen. And now we are moving to the third part of the presentation, that being Web3 for developer. How do you become a developer in Web3? And blockchain developer are one of the highest paying jobs in the market currently. And recruiters are after blockchain developers that, okay, please come and join me. And one of the main reason is the finances involved, like I talked about, the banking. It's new technology. People want to learn it. People want to work in it, and companies are experimenting on it. Okay, how you can get started on these platforms? These are some of the platforms that I think are really good. One is Ethereum, Polygon, Hyperledger, Solana, or Cardano. So Ethereum, I think, is one of the most famous development platform where you can get started very easily. And then we have, for example, you only need to learn Solidity and minimum development knowledge experience required, and you can work on it. And then we have Polygon. Basically, Ethereum has the scalability problem, and Polygon resolve it. Okay, let's move to, for example, now you know that these are the platforms that you can work with. Now you are the architect of the blockchain solution that you are devising. Now you need to choose the public versus private blockchain. Okay, the difference, one of the basic difference is public versus private blockchain is, for example, in private, there's well-known parties involved. For example, in use cases of supply chain, we are going to have private, and in case of public blockchain, we have Ethereum, Solana, Cardano. These are all the public blockchains. So before choosing the platform that you are going to use, please check it out, that is it good to put your data on the public blockchain or private blockchain is going to be suited. Just a comment that the thing that private blockchains are doing was already being done by all the available like distributed systems like Cassandra databases. So I don't think so it's a blockchain, but people call it and they're using it. So no issues with that. Anyway, advantages and disadvantages. Let's talk about it. So one of the basic advantages like speed, and then we have security, and it is almost impossible to corrupt the blockchain. It's going to be very expensive to reverse all that consensus and hashing algorithm involved. Okay, and the cost of producing a block is very high. You are paying for one transaction sometimes like $50. and for buying NFT you have to pay like $50. Even that NFT is like of $25. Okay, so here are some ideas how you can get started. Contribute open source. Contribute to open source, for example, all the platforms that I told you about are present open source. They are looking for developers who can commit and work on their project, do documentation. Try searching on those platforms and find out more about them. And volunteering. Try to volunteer on the community. And I think Web3 community is powered by community because there it's open source and there are opportunities to, as a volunteer, you can work with multiple experienced developers and you can learn from them. So great people do great things and you can work alongside them through volunteering. Make content on YouTube or your social channel and people will approach you to work with them. And then project ambassador. There are ambassador programs like of Stacks and Cardano that they're looking for. And start developing your own dApp. Watch the million, not millions, but multiple uh, tutorials available on the web to watch for you to become to develop your first dApp. And it's easy, trust me. So these are the frequently asked questions on the web that people want to learn about. Coins versus token. So coin is native to that platform. For example, in Bitcoin platform, we have Bitcoin. Then we have Ethereum. That is, Ether is their coin. But token is something that is built on top of the platform. And fungible versus then we have fungible versus non-fungible tokens. So talking of tokens, for example, non-fungible is the gift that your father gives you that is not equals to anything else, something like this. And one non-fungible token is not equal to another fungible token, but because it's different in attribute, just like crypto for example, the cards we used to play. What are so let's talk about smart contracts. Smart contracts are the application built on top of blockchain, and we basically write a contract like code running on on the blockchain. And I can't end it without defining DeFi, MetaMask, and NFT. So basically, what NFT is, for example, NFT is the non-fungible token that we talked earlier, and metaverse is the combination of virtual reality and the real world. And then we have DeFi, decentralized finance. It is about translating the financial um, uh, institutions available in the real world to the decentralized ecosystem. We call it a DeFi. And that is it from my side, guys. Shoot me a question if you have any. Scan this link. You can find me on LinkedIn, and I'll be available for any of your questions. I'll answer them thoroughly, and do follow us out. And thank you so much for listening in.